Well, I have never been a huge fan of these Jessica Jones seasons. How about you?
Nah.
Well, has season 3 been able to change our minds? Did you like season 3? Let's talk in the comments.
You're a cheater.
Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin.
I'm the Cholo Nerd.
And we are going to spoiler talk season 3 of Jessica Jones, or AKA the final season.
The final. Ooh.
So here's the question. Could this season end it great? Season 1, I wasn't a fan of. I just liked the villain, Kilgrave.
Kilgrave was a great villain.
Yeah, that was about the only thing I liked. Season 2 had nothing for me. I didn't even do a video on it.
Well, here's the thing about how bad season 2 was. We did do a video. We were just like, we're not going to finish.
Oh, yeah.
We totally recorded it.
I forgot. I forgot about that.
We were like, just like season 2 of Jessica Jones shouldn't be there. This one shouldn't be there. It was bad. Because what do? It's like, what did you think about season 2? Oh, it was horrible. What did you think? It was horrible. But with that being said, at least season 3, I liked it better than season 2. Like 100,000 times better than season 2. Still not my favorite of the Marvel Netflix shows, but the story was a lot better than what season 2 was. If we're going to compare it that way, it's like, yeah, season 3 way better than season 2.
First, one of the biggest positives for me was the villain, Salinger.
I liked him as the villain because, he didn't have any superpowers or anything like that, but he reminded me of Baron Zemo. So he reminded me of Baron Zemo for the reason of he didn't have any superpowers, but he was smart enough to do things to mess with you. Like, that was like his superpower. Like, he was a great serial killer. Like,
yeah, and he was smart.
Creepy.
About everything. And so one of the things that kind of intrigued me most the first time we meet him and Jessica Jones, goes in the kitchen, the knife is missing that stabbed her and took her spleen and all that stuff. And so there she is standing in that kitchen and facing off that guy. And his overconfidence of the situation where, he talked about one day you're going to meet your match. And when you meet your match, the world's going to see what a fraud you are. And she goes, oh, so are you my match? Oh, honey, no. No, I'm so above and beyond you. You're like an ant in the distance. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was actually wondering, does he have a power? Is he an alien or something? Like, I was like, what are you that you are standing in front of her like that and saying that so boldly?
Yeah, me too. I was like, dude, what is his power? And I was like, should I Google him? Like, I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll let this play out. But I really thought, I was like, all right, maybe this guy has like superhuman strength or something, But no. Just your typical creep in New York,
What are you trying to achieve in this moment?
A confession.
I have a very disciplined mind.
See, that's the thing about Jessica Jones. Is like the character of Jessica Jones just doesn't enthrall me. Because you have like Iron Man, and he's a jerk, but he's a lovable jerk. You have Han Solo, jerk, but lovable jerk. Mm-hmm. And I never have felt that about Jessica Jones. This is the first time I kind of warmed up to her by the end of the season. But always in Jessica Jones, by always I mean season 1 and this season, the villain was the most interesting aspect of it. So, the story involving him drew me in more. And Trish Walker is a character I have never liked.
I don't like her either.
But I will say it was kind of interesting to watch her dark side come out in this one.
Trish Walker's very annoying. It's like
she is very annoying. It's
like, first of all, calm down. Like, what I mean? It's like that. But
you know what she reminds me of?
She drives me nuts the whole time. I just want to somebody slap her.
She reminded me a lot in this season. Actually, all 3 seasons. Mostly season 2 and this season. She reminded me of Lana Lang from Smallville.
Okay,
And I know you didn't watch a lot of Smallville, but Lana Lang was a very self-entitled character. The type of character that gives millennials a bad name. Like, I deserve this, and I should have that. And that's what Trish Walker was like to me throughout this whole thing. Yeah. She was, in some level, not as annoying as Lana, because that's kind of hard to beat. But, man, she definitely had that huge self-centered thing. Oh, yeah. And and that's the thing. Jessica Jones and Trish Walker together as a team is not an enthralling team for me. They're just not the most exciting duo. There's not a lot of dynamite stuff going on between them. They're both characters that irritate me.
Yeah. Jessica Jones, she's a mean grump. She's just a grump. Yeah. She doesn't get along with anybody, Trish was definitely raised to be a superstar, on TV. But I guess, like the TV world, she had something in her head. She had something to prove.
Yeah.
And being a superhero is something she wanted to be, and she wasn't.
Yeah.
Yes, she had these abilities, but her abilities, seeing in the dark and some of the, don't compare to going up against like an Iron Fist who can fight and just destroy you with one punch.
Exactly.
Or a Luke Cage where she can do all that stuff and it's going to do nothing to him.
Yeah.
But
so thankfully she didn't face the supervillain.
But I also didn't like it at the same time. I liked it, but I didn't like it.
Well, it's funny because you like it because it's cool to actually see her hone her powers and use them. And you're right. Her powers are very small compared to others, but she figured out how to use them. Mm-hmm. So for her, like, it was big. But it's just sad because her attitude the whole way through it, like, made even that part that was interesting unlikable.
Yes. It was like she was missing the point of the superhero.
Yes. Which I guess the one thing that was kind of interesting was the flashbacks to Dorothy and just how bad her mom was to her growing up, how abusive. Like, her mom was like the true stage mom and verbally and physically abusive to her. So it's like, you can understand why she has something to prove, especially that line where her mom says, the world has given you a gift and you are disappointing it if you don't give it back. And it's like, you could just hear those words constantly reverberating in her mind. And it's like, that makes sense out of why she's always so mad and bitter towards Jessica. Oh, yeah. She's jealous, but she's also angry that Jessica has a talent and she's wasting it.
And she got caught up in this superhero role and turned out to be her own villain.
Watching her go throughout this whole season, she ended up hating Salinger. Especially when Salinger killed Dorothy. And I mean, the sheer hatred she had towards that. But by the end, she was Salinger. On like every level almost, Yeah. And so it was really kind of interesting to watch that transformation, which wasn't super dramatic because she was already kind of annoying and self-entitled and thought that everything she was doing was so mega important.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I like that the whole time. She was like, you don't deserve my forgiveness, blah, blah, blah. What, didn't you just kill your sister's mom?
Yep.
You're missing the point!
Yes!
You killed your sister's mom!
Come on, it was driving me nuts when they would have these hearts-to-hearts in the beginning of season 3 where she's like, look, why can't you admit your mom was evil? Well, why can't you just admit she was my mom and you killed her? And I'm like, could both of you shut up? You both sound like toddlers yelling at each other. It's driving me nuts!
I think my favorite part of the whole show was the training montage with Trish. You just see she's determined to train. Like, that part was good. She's like, I want to master these things. I like it. She runs off the wall and does a backflip and lands. She's like, yes! I thought that part was cool.
No, that was cool.
Then she went psychopath and was like, you know what? I'm going to do this, beat everybody up. And then she got to taste the blood when she accidentally killed that lady or stabbed that lady. And...
Yeah. The funny thing about Trish, though, is as she was going the way of the psychopath, I began to like her character more and more.
Yeah.
Because it felt like she went from whining, I'm entitled, to, oh, well, now you've just embraced your villainy. So you crying, I'm entitled, you thinking you're doing what's right, well, that's cool. You fit every mode of a villain motivation. So by the last episode where she was the villain, she wasn't bugging me as much because I'm like, sweet, she's embraced her destiny.
And I like how she's going to the raft.
Yeah.
But I did like a couple of the references, like to Danny Rand, how he's on a sabbatical. I was like, oh man, that'd be great to know what he's doing. But oh wait,
he's canceled.
His show's canceled. He finally had a good season.
How cool that Luke Cage showed up for all of 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, out of nowhere, all of a sudden I was like, Luke Cage? Is that Luke Cage? Oh, maybe when Trish Walker was in, talking to the detective, was like, oh, maybe Matt Murdock's gonna walk in. No, just Luke Cage. And I like what he said though, because he talked about his brother.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think that was their way to try to redeem Luke Cage because he ended on such a dark note and now it's canceled, so it's going to go nowhere. Yeah. And so it's like, oh, cool. That would have been cool if he stayed with her through the episode and we watched his redemption. But no, we just had to get a few of those lines. So it's like, okay, he's not totally dark.
Yeah, and then I thought she was going to get back with him. Because
it would have been nice.
It's in the comic books, man. They're married, and I just assumed that. Like, when I saw him there, I was like, oh, cool, when I was thinking, she was going to leave that dude because, man, the guy doesn't have the best morals,
Yeah.
He knows a lot of bad things are happening. He lets them happen. And who doesn't want to see Luke Cage and her together?
I know.
Now, that's a super couple.
That would be awesome to see.
They're both crazy strong.
And he's unbreakable. And it would have been cool to have had that team up to go against Trish at the very end and watch Luke Cage get redeemed because we'll never see that again. So it would have been cool to have gotten that, but, whatever.
But I did like that. Luke Cage showed up.
Speaking of bad morals, Malcolm.
No, I liked Malcolm in this one. Like, you got to see him develop, and he made something of himself. I don't agree with his morals, like cheating,
Right.
doing the nasty stuff, and Malcolm, it's just like you got to see him, like I said, like develop over the years.
Yeah.
And he's making something of himself, and he's in a crossroads right now. He's trying to make a name for himself, and the only way he can do it is work for Hogarth, and he's not liking his scenario. She's making him do some mean and shady things, that are not easy, and I'm sure making him compromise with his beliefs and stuff like that. But then he goes and does that. But aside from that, I really liked Malcolm in this story.
Well, it's because, like, for him, you really got a character out of him, and you got to see his struggle. Jessica Jones is a jerk, and we got to see her struggle a little bit later on.
Yeah.
But from the beginning, we're watching Malcolm confidently do Jerry's dirty work, and then start to feel worse and worse about it, and then actively try to help out Trish before she went totally evil because he just wanted to do something good with his life. It's like I had so much sympathy towards that character, and I cared about him, and I thought, knowing that this is the final season, his ending was terrible.
Yeah.
The fact that he's still living with Eric's sister, gave up on the girl that he said I love you to, and it's not going to progress beyond that. It's just over.
No, it's gone.
I'm kind of sad.
Yeah.
So something else that I got to say is kind of like a positive no, it's actually kind of a negative.
There's a lot of negatives.
We've said this about every Marvel Netflix show except Daredevil. Needs to be less than 13 episodes. I think this season could have had potential to be far more exciting and cooler if they made it 8 episodes and gave it a faster pace.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. 13, it was a lot to watch on there. And
Yes.
some of those episodes were a waste.
Yes, they were. A lot of walking really slow and constantly talking low like this in this weird monotone.
Oh, what'd she do? She sent you a video. Yeah. What happened to it? Oh, it deleted. Okay, let's screen mirror this.
Oh, it was driving me nuts.
Oh,
It's like, just
horrible.
pick up the pace. Tell this dang story and give us closure.
First of all, there's only one superhero that walks slow. That was Luke Cage. He had heavy feet. He plopped when he walked. But other than that, come on, man. Pick up the pace.
Oh,
the story
man.
was like totally being short. It's almost like they said, you have to make it 13 episodes. Here's your script. But our script's for 8. Well, add 5 more.
Yeah.
And it was almost, that's how it felt. They said, like, well, let's stretch out some of these and we can make it work. If it was 8, it would have been a lot better.
I think so.
A lot more enjoyable.
I really think so, because it would have picked up the pace and all of that. That dude, Eric, who gets the headache whenever there's somebody around that has done evil and there's evil in their heart. First off, I thought that power was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I thought that guy, though, like, he was creepy when we first met him. And I was kind of convinced he was working for Salinger and we were going to get that reveal. And we didn't. But I liked him, and I thought he had some of the funnier moments, but I did not buy him and Jessica's chemistry at all. Did you?
No, I didn't. It didn't fit.
I think at one point I forgot they were dating.
Yeah, maybe it's just the actor or what, but it didn't fit.
No. And I mean, Jessica said that at the end. I don't trust you, and broke up with him, but...
From season 2, the guy that lived in the other floor...
Yeah.
They fit.
Yeah, that would... Yeah.
And her and Luke Cage fit.
Yeah.
Those two just...
But yeah, this guy, like, I don't know. They were both just slow talkers, and so every scene they were in was just really low, really slow, and I was like, oh my gosh, move this thing forward.
He apparently makes an incredible hamburger, Yeah,
I would like to try his hamburger.
I would try the hamburger,
yeah.
But it just did not fit. It did not fit at all.
It did not. But one of my favorite things with him was when Trish was turning evil, and so he was, leading her to these people that he had bribed and stuff, and so when Trish killed them, and he's like, whoa, I felt the evil lift and the world just got balanced. Like, that moment was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because it made his character a little bit more complicated, where it's like, no, I want that to happen because he felt the headache lift, he felt that evil leave the world, but then it's like, but the way we're doing this is so bad and it's so abundantly wrong, we cannot do this.
Yeah.
It was cool to have that element in the end.
Yeah. But, jeez.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say is like, jeez Louise. Jessica Jones, you have not been the best Marvel Netflix show. I did like how it ended, not like the train station scene or anything, but I liked how it ended where Hellcat sitting there locked up, talking to the detective or the cop, whoever that guy was.
I like him. He's a good character.
I like him too because he looks like a tired cop from like CSI and all those Law and Order shows. Like,
Yep.
he like totally nails that part. But I like how he says, you're being transferred to their jurisdiction. It's out of my hands. And I like how she's sitting there and it just sinks in.
I'm the bad guy.
Yeah. That scene was probably one of the best in this, because like I think even the actress playing Trish did a great job where you could see it register on her face that sunk in. So that was a really cool looking scene.
That part was really good because Jessica's trying to tell her and save her from herself type of thing, and it sunk in when it was too late.
Yep.
What have I done?
Yep. Ah.
I'm going to the raft. Where you will not... Captain America's gone. He's retired.
Yes.
He's not busting fools out of there anymore.
No, he did it once. He's not doing it again.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
She's going to the raft that's where she'll spend out her days.
Yep. So, what would you give this letter grade?
C minus.
That's actually where I was. I was going to give it a C minus.
Yeah.
Which is better than what I was going to give season 2 when we didn't even record that video, which shows how low that was. Because, like, it was interesting. Mm-hmm. It definitely had things that were able to hold attention, but there was a point where I was like, I have 13 episodes to binge?
Yeah.
Ugh. But anyway. Yeah. So.
It was just okay.
Yeah. C minus. It's just okay. But how about you? What do you think of these Marvel Netflix shows, and what is your favorite one? Let's talk about that in the comments. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button to become a Durbanian. Hit the bell by the subscribe button so you're notified the next time Cholo Nerd joins me to talk Marvel. I try to get this guy on here as much as I can when something Marvel's going down so we can theorize like crazy and whatever. So hit the bell so you're notified when that drops. And if you like what I do here, check out my Patreon page. Link to that is in the description. I'm Durbin.
I'm the Cholo Nerd.
Thanks for checking out Durbania.